We'll come to order for this May 16, 2022 meeting. Mr. Chancellor, all rise and pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so the first announcement here is that we had an executive session on 5/11 to discuss real estate. Next, approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of April 18th.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Next is the police report. Dana?
Okay.
So,
We have number of calls for service were 255. Number of crimes investigated were 8. Number of arrests, 1, which was a driving under the influence arrest. And the number of accidents investigated was 3.
we also have a note from the chief about, he was reading the newspaper and saw that local departments were getting grant funding from PennDOT and Chester County Highway Safety to target aggressive driver training. So he contacted Chester County to inquire why we didn't get any money. The good news is, he says, the overall number of accidents in our township is low, and we didn't meet PennDOT's criteria to receive funding. The message from Chester County Department of Emergency Services said, I want to take a minute and let you know, after review of the PennDOT crash statistics reported over the last 5 years, there was not enough occupant protection or aggressive driving-related crashes to qualify your department for grant funding. According to PennDOT statistics, your department had 3 crashes in which the occupants were not restrained over that period of time. As far as aggressive driving, your department reported 46 aggressive driving-related crashes over the period of 5 years, averaging 9 per year. Puts your department in a low-risk category. Who would have thought? That's my point. Do you have a question about that? No? Okay. It is pretty cool, but part of, when the chief said that to us, I talked to him and he said part of it's the work that we have gotten done in collaboration with PennDOT, getting the 4-way stop here and at South Chester Springs Road has dramatically cut that was our worst stretch of highway between those 2 4-way stops. And it's much safer now. And the other thing is from Horseshoe Trail north to Flowing Springs, the chief and his gang over the years have really pushed PennDOT, and they've removed those passing lanes on Route 100, and that saved a lot of lives. So there's more we can do, but so far we've made some good practice, and in spite of our aggressive driving, we're not as bad as some other places.
I just have a comment, just coming in to the meeting. Karen Lampy, just coming into the meeting tonight.
Wait, you have to get to the microphone and give your name and
Karen
address.
Lampy, just coming into the meeting tonight, I was doing the speed limit down here, I was tailgated all the way down. I came to the stop sign, did a full stop. I turned in here and I was passed, literally out here on the yellow line. Somebody flew by me. I live on St. Matthew's Road, so I know people don't have the speed limit. I've almost been hit like 3 times in my mail.
And what's your address?
943, and if police officers want to come by and sit in our driveway, I think they're more than welcome.
Well, that's good. We'll pass it over
Yeah.
to the chief. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're all aware of speeding problem in the township, and we are actively looking to see what we can do. Unfortunately, in the state of Pennsylvania, only state of Pennsylvania, it's the state police who can use radar and no one else. So that's being held up in the legislature now. All we can do is hope that one time they'll get their act together and give us radar. Okay, thank you for that.
Do you want?
What's that?
She would like to let the audience know that we are recording the meeting. Our camera is fixed.
Okay, second on the agenda is the bills list. Okay.
Wait, is this the total number? Okay, I will make the motion to approve the bills list in a total of $816,277.42.
I just had a question on the bills
Do you
list.
want to second?
I would second it. I
Okay.
second that. And I just wanted to question, I saw we did contribute $1,000 to Friendship Hickory's Iron Tour. I don't recall us ever voting on that.
I don't either, except that I know they asked us last November.
Okay, so it might have been voted on
Could have happened
previously.
previously.
Okay, just trying to figure out how that.
It's often
It's done.
traditional that we've done it for however many years.
We'll check into that. Any comment? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, on now to the treasurer's report. You have it, treasurer's report?
That's right here, for financial report in tab three. Next one is the dark orange, or I call it black, should I say? Next one.
Okay, American Recovery PA Funds, $309,593.42. In our capital equipment, we have $370,171.18. Capital project reserve, we have $2,427,075.44. Capital roads, we have $4,984,562.31. In our escrow account, $294,430.57. In our general fund, we have $1,722,630.20. Liquid fuels, $355,208.21. Open space, that's $2,279,742.94. In our sewer fund, we have $87,310.24. Okay, moving on, manager's report.
And our manager is probably still sitting on the beach with the sunshine.
I went through this twice earlier, and there's nothing really new in the report. So we'll just pass till next meeting as we.
I think the one thing we would announce is sustainability meeting is canceled for Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
Planning commission is expected to happen.
Okay. All right, under old business, replacement of front doors for the township building.
At long last.
Yeah, that was tabled, and we did get 2 bids, and we'll bring that up at what point? I guess we.
This is it, I think it's the next.
Initial bid was
Yeah, okay. So
$4,000 less.
Yes, we only had one bid previously, so we put it out for additional bids, and they came in higher. So
Okay, so do I have a?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal for replacing township front doors, but that's the one.
I'll second that. And the amount of $9,542.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Second on
I
that?
mean, she seconded it and corrected it.
Any discussion from the audience? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Do we have any idea how fast that can happen, Kathy? Have you heard anything on that?
No, I'll talk to him tomorrow to let him know.
Okay, next is resolution 19-20-22, approve the transfer settlement agreement to the Hampshire properties.
I make the motion.
Okay, go ahead.
We need to announce
No.
the warrant.
No, we need to turn it over. Okay, after you make the
Okay,
motion.
I make the motion to accept the bid of D&L Construction for equipment.
No, that's not the transfer.
Oh, okay.
All
It's not in
right.
here. I'll just reread that.
A resolution. I think we go, number 6, we go to marketing, then you'll tell us. You want to tell people what this is about?
Right, so this was referenced at the last meeting, the Hankin organization is looking to, well, let me just back up, there's a settlement agreement that governs the development of the Weatherstone community. That Weatherstone community has partially been built. There are units that remain to be built in that community, apartments as well as retail. The settlement agreement may be assigned to another property owner, and that has happened partially in the past. And that is what's proposed to occur based on this resolution. The original settlement agreement gives the township the ability to approve any potential property owner that the settlement agreement properties would be assigned to. And in this case, an organization out of New York, Hampshire Properties, has made the request along with Hankin to obtain the approval from the Board of Supervisors for, well, at least that would allow that transfer to go through. They would be purchasing the properties that are owned by Hankin and essentially effectuating this settlement agreement by constructing the remaining phases of the project. We have met with Hampshire, the board, township staff, and we reviewed financial information, and they appear to not have any issues related to defaults and to be a solid, financially solid organization. So I know that the staff, Mr. Granger, doesn't have any issue with the resolution. The resolution that's on the table tonight would essentially approve an agreement that would allow for that transfer of the settlement agreement. It's not to transfer the property. This would just allow Hampshire to take the place of Hankin under the settlement agreement. And I know we've got counsel for both Hankin and Hampshire if the board has any questions.
Not here.
You,
Did we ever get any answer back about the basin cleanup that we wanted to be done for the transfer to make sure they don't assume that?
I did speak with Mr. McHugh as well as Gassaro. I believe it's been done. Okay.
Yeah.
We spoke last week.
Good evening, Matthew McHugh, counsel for Hampshire Properties, the proposed buyer. Mr. Thompson did reference the issues with the basin. I believe Hankin went out immediately. I should have already cleaned that up, but if it hasn't occurred, we assure you that it will occur before settlement.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Anything from the audience? Seeing
I
none?
think we didn't do the motion.
No, we didn't.
We got a little screwed up.
Okay.
But,
The motion's back. This is the motion.
right, so I make a motion to approve resolution 19-2022, which approves the transfer of the settlement agreement to Hampshire Properties. Maybe it should say transfer of the Hankin settlement agreement to Hampshire Properties. How about that?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Moving on, accept the bid for the equipment rentals. This is a rebid of equipment rentals for public works.
I'll make the motion to accept the bid of D&L Construction for equipment rentals for the Public Works Department for the hourly rates shown on the bid equipment schedule.
I second that.
Is there any comments from the audience? See it none? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Let's see, on the new business, acknowledge receipt of the zoning board, hearing board application for 2080 Long Springs Road for a pool installation.
Did you have a question?
Me?
No, you too. Okay,
Sorry, I was trying to let them know.
no. Okay. Okay, so we're just, has the date been set for that zoning hearing meeting?
No.
There's one coming up at the end of May. Is that a different one? The last Thursday of the month.
Did you get an email on that?
Well, I think I saw an email string. I guess we better confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, acknowledge receipt of the subdivision land development application for 595 Fellowship Road. This is a subdivision for construction of a single-family dwelling.
Any questions?
Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on. Number 10, approve the application for non-emergency fire police service. So
I
this is,
make a motion. You want to explain it first?
I was just going to suggest what it is. So the fire police from Ridge Fire Company will be present at the Iron Tour for directing traffic and whatnot. So this is their application. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the application for non-emergency fire police services for the support of the French Creek Iron Tour.
And I will second that.
Okay, any comment from the audience? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Okay, with that, comments? Any comments from the public on any topic that's not on the agenda? Yeah?
Hi, I am Susan Farrell. I don't live in the township, but I work at the Henry Hankin Library. So I'm here on behalf of the Chester County Library and its branch, the Henry Hankin Library, right down the road. I'm a youth services librarian there. I've been there for over 12 years, so I'm watching and continue to watch the kids in this community grow up. And we just wanted to talk to you and the community about 2 important things that are coming up at the library. We are offering our summer programs for children through adults for the first time since 2019, in person, for all ages. So my department, the children's department, is getting ready with the baby story times all the way through the high schoolers, and the adults are getting their programming ready too. So something for everybody at the library this summer, and we hope we see you there. And the other thing I want to talk about real quickly is our Museum Pass service program that we offer. We do have over 25 museum passes that are available to borrow. So you have to be a library card holder. Last year, $116,000 were saved by library card holders from admission to the different area attractions. And we offer the passes. Most of the admission passes are good for at least 4 people, and some of them are good for even more. And you can reserve the passes online. You come, you pick them up, you drop them off the next day. Very, very popular program. I checked with the ladies up front before I came over. Our most popular passes at Hankin are the Elmwood Park Zoo, Chanticleer Garden, Eastern State Penitentiary, and we also have a pass to the hands-on house, the Children's Museum in Lancaster. So a nice variety of passes and opportunities. Information about the summer programs and the museum passes is available on our website, and also you can stop in and see us.
Could you give us an example of some of the programs that you have?
For the summer programs?
Yeah, yeah.
I know mainly about youth services, so I can talk a lot about kids. So we'll be doing baby and toddler story times. We have a pre-K program. These are weekly, starting in June. We have a Get Ready for Kindergarten program. We have a program we call Hankin Years, which is for 1st through 5th graders. And then we have programs for 6th through 12th graders. And they're weekly starting in June. So we go for about 6 or 7 weeks. And there's reading challenges for all ages as well.
And how about some of the adult programs?
I don't know a lot about the adult programming yet, honestly, because I'm in youth services, so I'm not sure.
There's something for everyone there.
Yeah.
One final question. Does the price of the museum passes come out of your budget, or are they donated to the library?
Some of them are donated, the relationship with the different museums, and some of them are funded.
Well, and the part that's funded is funded by the Friends.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming out
Yeah,
and
thank
supporting
you.
our community day as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah, they had fun. I had a couple coworkers today that were talking weather panel.
I
Okay.
think that reminds me, are you ready to accept boxes for books as donations?
No.
I'm gonna say no, they're not ready yet. They just don't have any space to put them because we haven't had the semi-annual sale now for 2 years.
And all the books you were donated there.
But if anybody wants books for any purpose, there are a lot of books that need to move.
And are,
Yeah,
but you have a plan when you might be getting that sale, empty out your
So that-
inventory so we can give you more.
Yeah. The sales are handled by the Friends of the Henrietta Hankin Library, not the library itself.
I know that we keep pushing it off because we're trying to move books. And so they've been having monthly sales at the library, just in the foyer there, specials maybe, mysteries this month or grown-up.
Children's,
Yeah, they just keep having a different theme. And they're really, quite inexpensive. And we're really just trying to move them so that we can bring some new ones in. And not being able to plan and set up has been a problem. Because between volunteers, we have a lot of elderly volunteers or no volunteers at times, because a lot of them are backed off. So that is something that's really important. If anyone's interested in volunteering at the library.
Yeah, so either at the library or the Friends group I know is looking for help.
Definitely for help.
Yeah.
So
To run
they
the
don't have
sales.
anybody to take them in and lead them and make sure that they're presentable enough for people to buy. We don't just put anything out there.
Yeah.
So,
It's a huge job.
yeah, it is a huge job.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Ted Knowledgeon, and I live in Thrill on Davis Lane. I'd like to remind the supervisors that the pandemic is not over. The number of new cases in southeastern Pennsylvania is rising again, and the number of people dying from the COVID is also rising.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steve Slayton. I'm at 1420 Howell Road. The French Creek Iron Tour came up a couple times today, and it came up with me because I remembered it. I wanted to talk about the spray painting of the route. It's the 20th year, and all but one of those years they spray painted our streets, despite the chief having talks with them. Despite it coming up in the past, and I was wondering if there's anything we can do to prevent the Iron Tour from spray painting our streets.
And what are they painting, just those arrows?
Well, if it was just the arrows, it wouldn't be a big deal. But last year was a pretty bad year. They're painting stop signs, the word stop in front of stop signs all over the streets. And
I think I've seen those in Pine Wood, because it's so hard to get a bicyclist to stop.
I understand that, but defacing our community, the whole reason they're having it here is because of the beauty of our community. So they're the only bike tour that still does it. There's other ways they can use signs they can put in the ground, like they do that say this land is saved by French and Pickering Creek, which are great.
Steve, how long is it before it washes off or it gets worn off? Like,
Well, last year, to give you an example, in 2020, they didn't have the race, so there was no spray paint. In 2021, last year, they painted, and in some areas, they actually spray painted out in black the stuff that was still left over from 2019. So it lasts a good long time.
But that solution was okay with you that they covered them up?
No, it wasn't, because they don't do a good job of covering it. They don't need to spray paint the streets, is my point. We just had a race, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they used green arrows, they're paper stickers, and they just stuck them on it. If they want to use signs, I'll even volunteer and come take
And
them on.
if the paper stickers get torn off by bicyclists and cars?
That's the point, they're gone. And with the spray painting, it's there. I have to see it every day when I leave my house. And usually there's a bunch more because it's all different colors, but like I said, all the other white tours have either stopped or stop spray painting the streets.
Okay.
So I was looking for some ideas on how we could get them to stop doing it. The chief has even told them it's illegal.
I have talked to them and I talked to you because that's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, I know by your house it's pretty bad.
I don't like signs.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're stuck on the ground forever. And the answer that I've gotten from that officer, for one thing, they feel that it's a serious safety issue. People who don't know these areas, bikers don't look up. It's just a fact. They don't look up, so that's why they do this. I don't know that that's a great answer, but that's the feeling that the safety is coming first. I've talked about, well, there are other ways to do it, and they're concerned about things that wash off, because every time they try that, it would rain invariably, and then it would be blocked. So I understand that. I've heard the excuse that, well, we go back there and we paint over it black, so it's fine. Well, I don't appreciate that, because it's still just now, it's like a black smudge color.
They have black graffiti.
So, right, so I don't think that's really the solution. Now, there are vinyl adhesives that you can put in ground that can be pulled off again, and they're really still, and I wish they'd consider it, but maybe we need a petition for that.
But now they put them down and put them back up.
Yeah, I'll take them down. I used to donate to the organization. I just can't anymore. It's a safety issue as well. I've seen people almost get hit by cars because they're out there spray painting the street.
Well, another consideration too, because we have a lot of bikers, and
I'm a biker.
right, it's not just the people who know this area. People come here because, like I said, it's a beautiful area, it's very challenging, it's a great
Yeah,
place to
it's
ride.
awesome.
So, there's consideration, I think, of couldn't we come up with some permanent signs that are agreeable, that are decent, like I'm saying, like a nice vinyl type thing that's not gigantic and it looks professional and it looks like it belongs there versus somebody being. Because I had always took exception when they would come by, not just put, to stop, but way to go, or you're almost there. That's just over the top, I think.
One year was
And
particularly bad. Yeah, I remember a few years ago. I live right by the cafe, and they spray painted all over it just looked like a ghetto. And it stuck around for so long. So they do have some nice signs. I don't understand why they can't continue. So that's my comment. If there's anything that can be done,
Yeah, well, thank you.
I mean, there's plenty of ideas. Other bike clubs don't do. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, sorry.
I was trying to decide.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lee Johnson, 106 Marble Court. I'm going to make a suggestion about construction in the township regarding residential roofing. Actually, I recently had a roof done as an owner over at Marble Court. And unfortunately, it didn't really come out appropriately according to the codes. But the township doesn't require a permit. And I'm here to suggest that the board consider making a permit for roofing a requirement in the township. Other townships in the area actually require permits, like Upper Euclid, East Whiteland, and West Whiteland. I've spoken to the code officials over in those townships. So it just makes me wonder, like, why doesn't West Vincent have that requirement for roofing? I think it would help the owners of the community when a roof replacement job like I had to do comes up, because we had a hailstorm last year. I also think it would establish a history on the homes in the community, because you can do 2 layers of roofing, but you can't do more than 2. And it's just a gray area in the uniform construction code, actually, because it doesn't really say a roof replacement requires a permit in the code. It just basically says if it's a structural alteration, which is questionable because that gets into the sheathing of the roof. If you take pieces of sheathing or the decking off, is that technically a structural alteration? In my mind, yes, it is, but it's debatable. It's a gray area for the owners, and I feel like it should just be crystal clear for the residents to just say, hey, if the permit's required, great. Then it triggers inspections for the township to come out and, make the owners of the community feel good about the decision they made.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you say this because 99% of the time people complain about a permit that they have to get whatever it is. So this is really out of the ordinary. Mark, can you speak to this?
It is an interpretive issue, and I honestly, I don't know what the code official looks at in making that determination, but you're correct. It's structural alterations require permits, so.
Those permits that are required in other municipalities, do you know anything specific? You happen to have them with you?
I do.
I thought that little glimmer in your eye was that.
Yeah.
Would you like to leave a copy here so that we can ask our manager to look at it?
Sure. Yeah, I have Upper Euclid, they just have, it's on their website, construction activities requiring permit. West Whiteland has the same
What's her title?
punch list.
That's his.
Right, so there was when townships enacted the Uniform Construction Code, there was a way to preserve certain requirements. So that might be what
Right.
townships are enforcing. We just amended the UCC so that we were consistent with the entire Uniform Construction Code. So,
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see their permit application, if it really has space for the specifications that would allow a reviewer to make any kind of a judgment. Otherwise, it's just another piece of friction giving us a little more money and a piece of paper, but if it's not a strict enough review. So,
And one part of the code that's new is ice and water shield. It's required to be 24 inches inside the warm wall on the horizontal, but you have to do a calculation on the diagonal of the roof, which is dependent on the pitch. And typically, it works out to like, the sheets of ice and water shield come out to 36 inches wide. But at least for my home, it was at least 54 inches. But unfortunately, the roofers didn't do that. And so it's a tough situation to be in as an owner.
Did you get it priced down?
Not yet, no. We just had it done in November. But that's the precaution to be worried about.
That ruins everything.
Yeah.
So, with it, I'm
So
with
you
you.
have no way, no recourse against them because there's
Yeah,
nothing holding them to.
yeah, correct. Or I just feel like
Yeah.
I didn't really know until after the fact, when I started looking into all this information that's out there in the Uniform Construction Code. But if you don't pull a permit, it doesn't trigger the code, for one, nor does it bring an expert out to the field, or to educate the owners on, what's the right way to do it. That's all. Just let's get it done the right way. So people aren't in my position.
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll take it.
Thank you. Can I leave these?
Yes, please give them to Kathy.
Oh, that's all right.
He knows where, let's give them to Kathy. She's the safe place.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Karen Levy, St. Matthews, Rochester Springs. I'm not a construction expert, but I know that we don't need more red tape to get anything done at our houses and our farms. I think we have enough already. That's up to the homeowner to do, their due diligence on who they choose to do the roof. We don't need more red tape. More taxes, more expense for the homeowner. It's already so expensive to live here, and it's just getting worse.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? So before we adjourn, I just want to give a major shout out to Maria Contrero, who is our assistant for communications. She spearheaded the community day event that we had. And she put just a boatload of time and hours of effort into it, and it turned out to be a very successful event. And There's probably in excess of 500 residents that had come out. That's pretty successful in my eyes. And,
Yeah, in spite of the rain.
in spite of the, yeah, in spite of the rain, true. I mean, that was threatening. And also, I don't want to leave out Kathy Schilling and Christina Casey, who also put a lot of time and effort in supporting this. So, job well, very well done. And thank you.
Yeah, this is related.
Anything else? Okay, seeing
I
none.
make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Because they're kind of set up for the election.
Yeah,
As
okay.
soon as we get out of the
Kicking
way.
us out, I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right, thank you all. Good night. Meeting adjourned. Sure thing.